Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. You may be seated. So for a few years, I used to be a substitute teacher. And every once in a while, I would get one of those 6-week subbing opportunities when someone took their maternity leave. Once it was 12 weeks, which was about 10 weeks too long. Usually this is in middle school, high school, and the kids are not really happy to have another teacher and therefore not very cooperative. There was once that I was in biology, which is one of those subjects that I was like one chapter ahead of the kids. So I was trying to catch up and trying to deal with these children, and it was just a really stressful job. One morning when I was feeding our outdoor cat, I happened to look up and see the stars. And I took a moment just to drink in that concept of eternity. And the fact that nothing that happened today was going to destroy the universe. And then I thought of how God, who created the stars, was with me today. And I thought, okay, I can handle anything now. And it was such an encouraging moment that I decided every day that I would take that moment when I fed the cat, I would look up, take a deep breath, and just spend a few minutes in peace and quiet and realizing that the God who made the stars is with me now. So that's one of the things why I'm so glad to live in Bellville, because I went outside and the stars are even more incredible. I texted my husband and said, "You've got to come see this because it's just beautiful." I went out, I was a little nervous about my new job, and wow, so once again, God is with me. And nothing I do will destroy the universe. God who made the stars knows my name. This concept isn't new to just me, of course. The psalmist in Psalm 147 says, "God who binds up our wounds and heals the brokenhearted is the one who numbers the stars and knows them each by name. Great and mighty is he. His knowledge is without limit." And so I find it interesting in the book of Job. We've been reading through Job. We started with Job losing everything. He lost his house, he lost his family, he lost his health, he lost his friends. And yet he says, shall we receive good from the Lord and not bad? And he is able to still worship God. That was chapter 2. Then we see chapter 3. Excuse me. In chapter 3, we see that this indeed is a struggle for Job, that he's not as calm and patient as he first appears. And he's like, God is righteous, I know that, but he's not being fair because I have done nothing to deserve this. And yet everything I've learned, says God, God rewards the righteous and punishes the wicked. But I'm not this wicked. And so he finally asks, last week we read in chapter 23, he says, if only I could go to court and tell God that I am righteous, that all this is misplaced, and plead my case. Now today we read chapter 38, so God finally answers Job. But he doesn't do like a point-to-point talk. Instead, he starts off that, where were you when I hung up the stars, when I created the skies above? And then he goes on to talk about the sea. And usually we see when there's the sea being portrayed as a sea monster, and the hero comes and slays the dragon. But here, God compares himself to a midwife. And he births the sea, he catches the sea, the midwife catches the sea in her arms and swaddles the sea. And then the next verse, she's telling the energetic 2-year-old, no, you are not going to come. This far you shall come, and no farther. Setting those boundaries for the tides. Then God talks about the weather and the fact that when we are in a storm, we can't control anything. We can pray as hard as we can for protection for our home and our family. But in the end, we are just grateful with whatever happens to be alive. And then God goes on to talk about 7 wild animals. We have in our reading the lion and the raven, and he goes on with the rhinoceros and several others that are not tamed by human beings. They are not there to serve us. They are there only for the pleasure of God. God goes on for 4 chapters, and it goes with everything that God has created. And at the end of it, Job realizes that despite all his problems, he is only one tiny part of the universe. And despite the fact that he is just a speck in this huge, huge universe, God has taken the time to give him an audience, to talk to him. And he realizes that is enough. He doesn't understand his problems. He doesn't understand how he can, what he can do to get out of them. But he understands that God, the God of the universe, knows his name. And he says, before I heard about you with my ears, but now my eyes have seen you. And it is enough. The book of Hebrews tells us the same thing, that in Christ, we have someone that has gone through all the struggles, all the emotions that we have. And so God knows where, whatever we're facing, whether it's joy or sorrow or challenges, God is with us, and Jesus is able to give us the help we need. And in the gospel, Jesus tells the disciples, serve each other. It's not from sitting, in the side chair telling them, go serve each other. He himself is there, helping and serving. And in fact, he says, the Son of Man serves to the point of giving his life as a ransom for many. And so, wherever you are in your life at the moment, take heart, take courage, because God is with you. The God of the universe is with you. And we gather here today every week to have communion as a reminder that Jesus feeds us his life. Of course, if you need some encouragement in between from Sunday to Sunday, you can always go to your backyard and look at those stars.